switch into Ultralisks incredibly quickly. C, I've got to imagine that he has probably scanned this or will scan this very soon. This is a this is an interesting strategy by YellOw. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that he's just putting down Sunkens like it's a straight up sunken defense map or something like that. He has got I don't know, almost 10 at his front door right now, but all of those sunken colonies aren't going to do much good once those tanks get siege mode, because they'll just be able to shell in front of them. And I don't think at the moment that YellOw has enough Mutalisks to counteract all of the Medic and Marines that are on the field. He's also going for a Greater Spire, which is pretty interesting. That might be able to sort of turn the tides in his favor, give those Mutalisks a better chance, but already those siege tanks at the front door, and just those first 6 Mutalisks there to defend. Also, an Irradiate comes out. The Science Vessels have been made for C. It was a pretty good split, so not too much damage taken, except for the one Mutalisk that inevitably died. But that... Sorry. As I'm saying that sunken wall is falling, he plants down another 7, I don't know, I'm just making up numbers right now, but plants down another group of sunken colonies, and it's still not going to help him at all. I don't know what it's doing, and these sunken colonies aren't even in the range to hit or make those tanks stop. They are in range to do a little bit of damage against those Marines, but there are practically no Mutalisks left. I think he's saving the only couple of Mutalisks that he has left to try to defend and turn into Guardians to defend, and those Guardians finally are out, and those Guardians might be able to turn the tide, but there are Medic and Marines in the natural expansion, and it looks like he is going to finally be able to hold that expansion. That is highly unexpected. I was thinking that those Guardians would never be able to morph in time to actually defend against that, but those late sunken colonies held out just long enough to keep that going. But critically, C went for a drop of Medic and Marine forces down in that southwest base at that double gas expansion, and they are going to be able to take out not only the hatchery, but also at least one of those assimilators before those Guardians come in. Defiler's also out, so he's going for all sorts of late-game Zerg tech very quickly, and the problem with that is that he has lost 2 gases just now. Like, if you've still got 4 gas, then sure, why not make a Defiler and some Ultralisks and some Guardians, but now he's back on 2 gas, since he was able to keep his natural expansion running. He does have the 1 gas there. Dark Swarm is researched, so YellOw is spending his gas freely while he had it. So he's got at least a Defiler out, probably another one on the way. He has got Dark Swarm and I imagine Consume researched, and but he's also got his Hydralisk Den and of course his Greater Spire and a few Guardians. So he's just going an incredibly high gas build immediately, and really, I guess, the reason that he stopped with his 6 Mutalisks at the beginning is because he just wanted to save all of that gas so he could spin it immediately once the hive was completed. It looks like C, however, is going to be switching up tech a little bit. He's got 2 starports and a control tower researching, so I'm imagining that there's going to be cloaked wraiths coming very shortly. Excuse me, YellOw testing the waters real quick with a small group of Zerglings, but there is another Medic and Marine force coming down the line, threatening YellOw's base once again. Just putting a couple of Dark Swarms down in the path to hopefully slow this army down a little bit, but he is now down to just 1 sunken colony in front of his base. There are Fire Bats in the mix there to fight Zerglings under the Dark Swarm with their splash damage. And that 1 sunken colony goes down, and the first Ultralisk comes out, but is already surrounded and is got knocked down to 3/4 life pretty immediately. There are Science Vessels in the area, so that first Ultralisk is being irradiated. Guardians are out here to try to defend against these tanks, but those Cloaked Wraiths are in play. The Cloaked Wraiths, very nice, sniped by some Scourge. There was an Overlord in the area, so YellOw was on top of that, and he might be able to defend against that. It looks like he has just enough at his front door to maybe defend. It looks like there is another Cloaked Wraith, and I don't know if YellOw knows it. Well, I'm sure he knows about it, but I don't know if he has anything to defend against it. It looks like he did clear it out. But unfortunately, that means he's using Scourge to kill these single cloaked wraiths rather than killing this group of three science vessels that's at his front door. Those science vessels are just going to be able to, in a couple seconds, just be able to irradiate the Defilers and all of the Ultralisks. C, for some reason, I think a little lapse in Micro maybe, he just forgot to move his medics out there, leaving a group of about 6 medics. I think 4 of those died, so a little bit sloppy, but 4 medics isn't the biggest loss in the world once there's Ultralisks out in the area. I think C is setting up, if he hasn't already gotten that 3rd expansion over the, I think it looks like it's in the mineral only position over in the, I'm going to say 11 o'clock position in the north. That double gas is back up and somewhat running in the southwest position for Yarnk, and he's also positioning to put in a 4th base, which would end up being his 5th gas. So if he is able to get that double gas up and running properly and get this 4th base mining fully, then he's going to have so much gas that he can just be pumping Ultralisks literally out of every larva if he wants. That is an incredible amount of gas, and Yarnk, actually not paying attention to his front door for a second, loses an Ultralisk a little bit carelessly to an Irradiate without doing any damage with it, but that force from C is finally coming into that natural expansion, and it looks like they are going to be able to surround it this time, and I don't think Yarnk has quite built up enough Ultralisks to defend against this quite yet. He has been focusing on putting down those extra assimilators that he lost at that southwest base, along with the extra base in the eastern position at the 3 o'clock, and he just doesn't have enough units on the field right now, and there are siege tanks in the natural expansion sieging up, and Yarnk is going to have to pull everything out right now if he wants to defend his main base. Those Medica Marines are in the main base. They take down both of the Nidus canals, so there's going to be no reinforcement troops. So this main base is likely going to die, and already the Ultralisk Cavern has gone down. Once again, he doesn't have anything to defend against this, and that's GG from Yarnk. Once again, we end up repeating the pattern with Yarnk winning 2 against C, and then C taking 1 down. Is a strange build by Yarnk, and very gas heavy, and C was able to do just enough harassment for that 1 drop. I think that 1 drop was really the critical play in this matchup, just because he was able to stop that double gas for a couple of minutes right at that critical juncture where Yarnk was switching into every sort of high-tech Zerg unit that you could imagine, and C really never had to macro up a huge amount of forces just because he used his forces wisely. That 1 drop took out those 2 gases for a while, and then he only had to have a couple of tanks, and he had sort of just enough counters to what Yarnk had in play. For instance, the Wraiths for the Guardians, and I think he only ever had maybe 4 science vessels that he had to build. Maybe 5, but still not too many units. Maybe 5 science vessels and 5 or 6 tanks, and that was all of the sort of high-tech units that he had to build. Anyways, so Sparkyz once again down 2-0 against MBCGame Hero, and we're going to see if Lita can keep Sparkyz alive in this matchup right now. Anyways, I guess I will catch you in Game 3. Once again, I apologize for that audio error. Hopefully, if the syncing was able to, I was able to get the syncing right. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you next match.